Today, we're going to be talking about the final chapter of Amazon FBA. I've been selling on Amazon since 2017 and a lot has changed. It's been 7 years and there's one thing that I've learned. If you don't adapt, you're going to die. And in today's video, I'm going to break down the 3 most important things that you need to be doing if you don't want to be dying on Amazon FBA. Let's get into it. All right, so let's dive right into this heavy topic of adapting or you're going to die when it comes to selling on Amazon. This is one of the most common questions that I get is, Trevin, is Amazon FBA dead? And my response is, yes, it is if you aren't willing to adapt, if you're not willing to adjust and pivot to what is trending and what is working now. For those that don't know me, just to give myself a little bit of credibility, I've been selling on Amazon for the last 7 years. I've done 8 figures in sales. I've seen a thing or two. I've seen a lot of people succeed and I've seen a lot of people fail. And right now, people are succeeding, but there's a lot of people failing because they don't take the time to learn these 3 things. So I want to dive into the 3 most important things. And if you don't do these 3 things, you will fail on Amazon, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. So the first thing that I want to dive into is product research. You have been hearing product research. I know if you've been in the game for a minute or if you've been looking into it, you've been hearing people talk about product research and the importance of it. And I can't put enough emphasis and stress on the importance of product research because if you pick a losing product, you will fail. It does not matter what you do on the next 2 steps that I'm going to be talking about. But if you pick a winning product, that is where you're going to literally start printing money like it's clockwork. So understanding product research is crucial. Now, in the past, product research was very simple and it was just like, oh, find a product with lots of demand and low competition. And if you found that, boom, you had a product that just started making money. But there's a lot more to the product research process, which I want to dive into. So right here inside my screen is a complete criteria for a good product and additional signs for good products and what to sell for beginners. So right here is a complete cheat sheet and I'm going to give it to you completely free. All you need to do is follow me on Instagram, send me a DM. I will send this over to you. And not only does it give you a criteria, but it's going to give you 180 plus products to avoid. So we're talking about a lot of stuff jam-packed into this Google sheet, and I want to dive into a few things right here. So the criteria for a winning product is, again, more than just high demand, low competition. Now that is part of it. The first 2, we got to find low competition, we got to find high demand, but there's a lot more. You need to have a unique selling point. This is where so many sellers just fail and they don't have a way to improve or differentiate the product. They come to market with another Me Too product. We have to fix that. If you can't improve the product or solve a pain point, don't waste your time. The next one is profit margins. You need to calculate these margins and know your numbers like the back of your hand. So many sellers try to force numbers. So many sellers don't even know how to calculate margins properly. And they go to launch and they realize they only have a 5-10% margin. And after PPC, well, they're toast and there goes all of your profits. So that's super important. Making sure you're not infringing on trademarks, patents. I've seen so many sellers, and I've done it myself, launch products that I'm infringing on patented products or trademarks, and I go to launch it, and then I can't even sell it because I immediately get shut down. We want to avoid that like the plague. We've got check if the product is hazmat or restricted. I've seen a lot of sellers try to sell a product. They spend all this time. They think they have the perfect product. They go through the entire A to Z process. It checks into Amazon, and then Amazon is like, oh, you can't sell this. It's hazmat and or restricted. So we got to avoid that. Again, there's more than just a few steps with product research. It is a strenuous process and you need to learn it and study it and master it. Okay. Because if you don't do this, don't even try to sell on Amazon. But I also have some good news for you here in a second to maybe take a little bit of stress off your plate. So the next one is find an amazing manufacturer. And this is what we're going to be talking in the second part. Spoiler alert. This is crucial. If you don't do this, you are going to fail, period. The 9th one is avoiding seasonal and trendy products. The 10th one is I see so many new sellers try to launch like 10 variations and they're just overwhelming themselves from the start. So pro tip, variations are great, but don't launch 10 variations at once, especially if it's your first product. So those are some criterias. Now let's talk about some additional good signs. We've got high ticket, so products that are selling for $30 or more. Competition only has a few photos in the listing. So again, we're looking at weak, the weak links in our competition. We've got competition has no A+ content, no optimized bullet points or bad description. Products that are harder to get, so you can't buy them at the store. So like, again, that's one thing. Like if you were to go to Walmart, can you buy the product and find it super easy? If so, then maybe that's something that you might reconsider. Again, that doesn't mean that you have to avoid it, but that's something to look at. Poor packaging can easily fix a problem, can display the fix in the main image. Big price disparity. So what that means is if you have a product and everyone is selling it for, let's say, $10, and that's it, that's kind of the price line, well, that's going to be really tough to compete. Whereas if you have sellers that are selling it for $50, $40, $20, $10, $120, that price disparity is amazing. And that is where I've seen the most successful products kind of fall, is where there's that price disparity. Another thing to look at is it trending on Etsy, Pinterest, but it's not sold on Amazon. If you can find that, well, that's another great sign of a product. So those are things to really understand and look at. And if you can do that, that is one step closer to finding that winning product. Now, this might overwhelm you and you might be like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. I don't even want to do Amazon because this just seems too complicated. And I get it. I totally understand. But if you want me to find you a winning product that fits this criteria, then I'd love to talk and we will actually handpick you a product. So I'll put the link down below. It's a free consultation. We'll show you how we can find you a winning product. We'll help you find a manufacturer and we'll go through all of the 3 steps that I'm going to be going over today, but we're actually going to do it for you. So that link will be down below. Again, this is adapt or die. If you don't do this, you will die and fail miserably. So that's the criteria. And basically how we find these products is by using software tools. I'm not going to dive into that because I have tons of videos on the channel where I show you how to basically find products that fit this criteria. I have a complete playlist. So if you go to my YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe, go to the playlist product research, and I go through how to actually find products that fit that criteria. So that is the first thing, is you need to find products that fit this criteria. Again, not just high demand and low competition. You need to go into a lot of depth and you need to study this. So don't take shortcuts, find products that fit this. And that is the first thing that you will do to set yourself up for success. Now, jumping into the second tip that I can give you of where you need to be adapting and adjusting and pivoting or you will fail, it comes to manufacturing your products, finding the best manufacturer. I see a lot of new sellers take shortcuts here, and this is why they fail. They find a good product, but then they come to the manufacturing part and they skimp out and they take shortcuts and they get a bad manufacturer. They get a manufacturer that doesn't provide good quality. They get a manufacturer where they don't know their margins. So again, they go to launch it and they're like, oh, I didn't realize like the shipping, and then we got the cost per unit, the check-ins and all that stuff, and I don't have any margins. And so finding the perfect manufacturer that checks off those boxes is crucial. So again, part of the product research criteria is being able to find a manufacturer that can fix the criteria of a winning product. So like I just showed you guys, a unique selling point. So you need to be negotiating with this manufacturer of like, okay, this is a problem with this product. My competitor has this problem. How can we solve that? And the manufacturer needs to be able to solve that. And you guys can work as a team to solve that problem and come up with a solution. So that is, again, product research goes hand in hand with manufacturing your products. We've got the next one, profit margins. Again, if you don't know your landed cost, if you don't know what you're getting your product actually landed for, well, how are you going to calculate whether or not you're profitable? So that is, again, communicating with your manufacturer, with your freight forwarders and shipping agents to make sure like, okay, can I actually make this work? And if not, don't force it. The next thing is number 8, which I said I was going to come back to. It says, find an amazing manufacturer, order samples, and buy your 2 top competitors. Compare and contrast. If you can't say your product is better, find a new manufacturer. This is straight gold in of itself. So you need to find a manufacturer that, again, can solve the pain points, that checks off the profit margins. But not only that, it is better than your competition. So what you're going to do is, yes, you heard me, you're going to be buying your competitors' products. You're going to order it to your house and you're going to fill it, touch it, inspect it, use it, see if it breaks or see what's good, see what's bad. Then you're going to order a sample from your manufacturer. I see so many people not order samples. And so you're going to order a sample from your manufacturer and you're going to be able to compare it and be like, okay, is mine better? Does it look good? And you're going to be able to say with confidence, or maybe not, my product is better. And if you can do that, that is where you are adapting, you are adjusting, and you are setting yourself up for success. Again, that second part of finding a manufacturer that is reliable, that checks off the profit margins, that is improving the product. If you can do that, well, you are that much closer to building a successful business. So product research, finding manufacturer. Now diving into the third is a product launch. Now, this is where we're going to get into some tactical strategies that is going to make or break whether or not all that time and effort that you just put in of finding the product, finding the manufacturer actually works. This is where you need to execute. And I see so many people do the first two, but then it comes to that third step of launching the product and they're clueless and they're just like, oh yeah, it's just going to magically sell itself. But that's not how Amazon works. You need to have actual launch strategies. You have to actually put money behind the product when it comes to PPC and marketing to actually get the product to the customers. And once customers start buying it, that's how you're going to start ranking to the first page, which that's where the money is made. And so many new sellers, we're talking about thousands of dollars doing product research, sourcing, manufacturing, but then it comes time to launch and they are like, no, I'm not going to invest any money. It's like, okay, you're telling me you just spent, let's say $5,000 to find the product, to manufacture it, and now it's at Amazon. You're $5,000 in the hole, I guess. Like technically you're not. But that's a lot of people look at that. They're like, oh, I'm $5,000 in the hole. It's like you are until you start selling, and you can't start selling unless you put some money behind that to actually launch the product. And this is where beginners fail, is they are not willing to spend money to launch the product. Again, they think it's just going to magically sell itself. And that is where you are absolutely wrong. So you need to come up with a game plan, throw coupon codes on it, put some money behind PPC, maybe partner with some influencers, and start getting sales day one. And that is crucial. And if you don't do that, you are setting yourself up for failure. So that's the first part, is launching on Amazon. The second part, and this is where I'm adapting and I don't want to die. And as you guys know, TikTok is blowing up and TikTok Shop is here for the long haul, and TikTok is insane. And if you guys haven't seen videos where I've been talking about TikTok, you're missing out. But what I'm going to do is I'm not only going to launch on Amazon, but I'm going to launch it on TikTok as well. And I'm going to marry the platforms together. And this is where I've seen the most amount of success that I've ever seen when it comes to launching my brands on Amazon or Walmart or Shopify and TikTok. Mixing TikTok and Amazon is where the gold mine is at. And so that is where you need to adapt and adjust. You need to pivot and not just launch on Amazon. You need to be launching on TikTok as well. And if you mesh those two together, that is where you're going to see an insane amount of success. And so that's the three things that you need to do. Master product research, master product sourcing, making sure that you check off those boxes. And then number three, actually be willing to spend money to the product launch, getting it to page one, and not just doing it on Amazon, but launching it on TikTok as well. Now, those are the three things, and those are the three things that I am focused on inside my AMZ Champion mentorship community. Those are the three things that we help people with, because those are the three most important. And this is where people fail and they skip out on these three steps. So if you guys want me to find you a product, to help you find a manufacturer, and give you a guaranteed page one blueprint launch on Amazon, and then also my TikTok strategy, then click the link down below, fill out a free consultation call. We'll walk you through the entire process on how to set it up and get things going so that you don't have to be like, oh, what am I missing? Like, what's going on? We'll hold your hand and walk you through the entire process. Again, the link will be down below. I hope you guys take advantage of it. And most importantly, I hope that you adapt. so that you don't die. Anyways, thanks you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.